Kava Kava, Sun Mountain. The name given centuries ago by the Ute people to a peak first touched by dawn's light. The Arapaho call it Hae Atauya, or the Long Mountain. To the Pawnee, it is Das Pei, mountain that touches the sky. It would also be called Sierra Al Magre, mountain of red ochre, and El Capitan, the leader. Today, most know it as Pikes Peak. From the grassy meadows of its foothills, up to the pines, firs, and aspens of the montane zone, the evergreens of the subalpine zone, to the summit's alpine grasses and lichens, the natural beauty of Pikes Peak has lured visitors for generations. But beauty can be deceiving. The mountain is also harsh, unforgiving, and dangerous. Pikes Peak's rugged landscape has been forged over millions of years. Tectonic plates scraping against one another deep beneath the Earth's crust compress the land upwards, creating the Rocky Mountains. Friction and molten magma forced granite to the surface. Erosion from ice, wind, rain, and snow shaped its contours and continues to transform the mountain today. For centuries, indigenous people have lived here, tracing their very creation to the mountain's summit. European explorers and new American settlers also set their sights on the sacred mountain. Some, like explorer Zebulon Pike, were enticed by the challenge of reaching its summit. Others were lured by the prospect of riches or the promise of a new home. For many, the Great Mountain was the first thing they saw when crossing into the Colorado Territory at the end of a long and arduous journey. When the first road was constructed in 1887, a carriage could climb the 19 miles of steep curves to the summit for $1. By 1891, riders could sit back and enjoy the trip to the top on the Cog Railroad. In 1892, U.S. Congress established the Pikes Peak Timber Reserve, which to this day continues as part of the National Forest System. In 1921, Fred Barr began construction of the 13-mile-long trail from Manitou Springs to the summit. The following year, Barr became one of the original Frozen Five, creators of the Ataman Club, and so began the annual tradition of climbing to the top of Pikes Peak to ring in the new year with an impressive display of fireworks. It wasn't the only annual event to take root. In 1916, entrepreneur Spencer Penrose constructed the Pikes Peak Highway, following the path of the original carriage road, and a new kind of thrill-seeker arrived. At the annual Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, drivers from around the world navigate the 156 turns in a race to the top. In 1956, Pikes Peak became host to an annual ascent and marathon on the Bar Trail, and bicyclists joined the fun in 2010 with the first Pikes Peak cycling hill climb on the Pikes Peak Highway. However you reach its summit, Pikes Peak offers something for each of the 500,000 people who visit every year. Pristine forests, clear waters, and rocky trails. The mountain's allure has withstood the test of time, but we must each do our part to ensure its future. So as the world changes around it, Pikes Peak remains rugged and majestic, truly America's mountain.
Less than that, but you can get only up here. So you're almost. That one's in south of the Pikes Peak.